All right. Good morning, Keto Christopher friends. And I'm checking in. I hope everybody's doing well. While I'm filming this, coronavirus is going on. And I didn't see what the deaths were yesterday, but they're really spiking here in the UK. So hope this finds you well. And I think for many of us, we're trying to view this as an opportunity. I'm actually a teacher, so I've been home. I'm doing remote learning. I'll start that in about 20 minutes here. And I think about the first 4 weeks of the coronavirus, I was just really disoriented. And just one of the ways I deal with that is by eating. I think a lot of people do because I see a lot of posts on Facebook about how fat people are getting over during the quarantine because we all panic shopped and filled our refrigerators with food, and then we're just sitting around and can't go anywhere. And for me, I bought 2 or 3 birthday cakes. That's one of my favorite things to eat: birthday cake and ice cream. So I had been working on eating low carb for the few weeks before the coronavirus quarantine, and I was about 262 or so. Um, and then over the first 4 weeks or so of the quarantine, my weight went up to 272. A combination of limited activity, eating a lot of ice cream. I was ordering pizza, you know, a lot of carb heavy stuff. And for me, the way that works is once I start eating it, I start craving it. So it's just a death spiral. One pizza. And then the other thing, not only do I crave it, when I eat those foods, there's just not an off button. Uh, I can just, I can eat an entire pizza. And really, I can do it pretty easily. I can eat a bunch of ice cream and cake very easily. And so that's one of the tests. If a food does not create trigger an off button, I know that food has something in it that is getting at. I think I have some kind of literal physical thing going on uh, because for most people, that fifth or sixth piece of pizza, they're feeling uncomfortable and bloated. For me, I don't feel anything. But if I eat keto foods, I have an off button. That's what's so weird. So, for example, let me show you something I keep in my drawer. These are 2 dark chocolate bars. And I was doing the extreme ones that are like 95% cocoa. And I kind of experimented. I found I can go as low as 78% cocoa, and that does taste better than the 95% cocoa. But I don't crave it. So, for example, I bought 3 of these maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so I put them in my drawer. If I get a chocolate craving, I'll have, 1, 2, or 3 squares, and then that's it. And like I said, these candy bars have been in my desk for like a month. But if this was a Hershey's chocolate bar this size, I mean, this wouldn't last. Sorry, I'm still learning how to use this camera. Well, when I fit the camera I see is opposite of what displays here. But anyway, But if this was a giant Hershey bar, uh, I would easily eat the whole thing in one day. If I had two giant Hershey bars, I would probably eat both of them in one day if they're sitting in the drawer while I'm working all day. So there's something there physically because I have 2 or 3 squares of this and then I'm fine. I don't want any more. I might even go a day or two without wanting any again. The other thing, though, that helps me, though, is there's something about this chocolate that satisfies the craving. So if I'm craving a Hershey's milk chocolate bar and I have a couple of these, now they don't taste as good as the Hershey chocolate bar. I don't have the same experience of like, oh man, this is awesome, and just start shoveling it in my mouth. But after I have 2 or 3 pieces of this, the chocolate craving goes away, and I put the uh, bars away. It's no big deal. So I'll give you a demonstration right now. This is Lint. It's just what the store I go to sells. I don't know if it's any better or worse than any others. Lint is not a sponsor of my show. And here they are. And I just eat a little bit. They're good. But my natural thing to do is have a bite. I'm just going to set it aside. I'll take another bite later. But that's if this was a Reese's peanut butter cup, that's not how it would go. So I don't fully understand that about me and my body, but I've proven it over and over again in my many failed attempts at doing keto. So if there's a benefit to all my failed attempts, I have learned quite a bit. And so hopefully those things are going to pay off for me at this stage in my journey. Okay, that's a lot of talking about dark chocolate bar. But that's okay. I keep telling myself I'm doing this to save myself. So I'm not really being too self-conscious about what would people like to hear or what would be entertaining. I just would like to save myself out of this. And then who knows, maybe I'll get to help somebody else along the way. But if I save myself, I'm around for my family to hopefully contribute some good. And not just to live longer, but to live better, to not be tired all the time. Man, that would be awesome. And I want to bring that up, the whole energy thing. I'm really seeing a difference. Um, my energy level is already so much better. I haven't taken a nap in 4 days, which is amazing. Um, that in itself is huge. It's like giving me another hour or two per day. And then the rest of the hours, I feel a lot better. Um, so that in itself, if you could put that in a pill and sell it, I mean, the whole country would take that pill. So I'm pointing these things out to myself because even though I'm still very heavy, I'm already seeing immediate benefits. The benefits start kicking in immediately. You don't have to wait until you're 175 pounds to get the benefits of this way of eating, or at least I don't. Okay, let's see. Where am I? Okay, let's look at our yesterday. Okay. So for breakfast, I had 4 eggs, 4 slices of bacon, coffee with 2 tablespoons of half and half. I said I had a lunch plan, but I didn't do it. I was out shopping for food again and ate on my way there. I got a Wendy's triple cheeseburger, no ketchup. Uh, if I'm going off keto with the options that are available to me in the immediate fast food area, this is the second best one. If I had been willing to go about 10, probably 15 minutes out of my way, there's a Jimmy John's where they sell unwitches, which are pretty good, um, and not nearly as high in calories, and they're only a couple carbs. So an unwich would be my number one fast food source in the area that I can think of. After that, it seems to be a cheeseburger. Of course, I could have taken off the buns and been near zero carbs, but it's messy. I was wondering what that sound is. My daughter, I have the door locked on my office, so my 3-year-old is sitting right outside my door on her iPad. So I think that was Thomas the Train I just heard. Okay, dinner. Oh, I did do something cool for dinner. I'm trying to look for recipes. I've got to find food I like. Trying to force myself just to eat the same food every day. Well, I might be able to eat the same food every day actually, but it has to be the food I liked. So I was proud of myself for this. I got a chicken salad recipe, just one off of Google. Um, and I bought a couple spices that were in the recipe, which I never do. And I didn't make it exactly right, but still, I'm proud of myself for making the effort because I need to find about I would say 10 dishes that I like a lot. Because if I don't like them, I know I'm not going to be able to sustain it. So that's one of the rules. Find food I like. That's a requirement. I must enjoy the food I'm eating. Otherwise, I'm going to fail. Let's see. So, and I took all the leftover chicken and chopped it up. I'm estimating it's about 12 ounces. I squirted about a quarter cup of mayo. I like some mayo, but that was a little heavy on the mayo. So I'm going to have to figure out about that. Whereas when my wife tried it, she was like, I don't taste any mayonnaise. Whereas for me, it was like, oh, this is a lot of mayonnaise. I chopped up some green onions. Uh, I actually forgot the celery when I went to Walmart. So I didn't have that. Oh, you know what I have to add here that I forgot? I'm going to just add it up here to make it a little easier. My wife was making some bacon, so she gave me a piece and I put it in the chicken salad, which was really good. She actually gave me 1.5 pieces. And then when I sat down for dinner, my 3-year-old, who's very sweet, offered me a half piece of bacon because she didn't think I had any. I should have said no. It's actually already in there, but I took it. So there was 2 pieces of bacon. So I just added it to my breakfast bacon there. I had 3 slices of salami for a snack. I had two squares of dark chocolate for a snack. So that brings my calorie total to 2923, which is still high. What I'm finding is that my natural eating keeps coming out to about 3,000. Really, if I just ate what I want to eat, I would eat 3,000 to 3,500 calories per day. I'm taking some care here, and looks like I got to 2923. If I do better at lunch, hopefully I want to get down to what my goal is up here, 2299 net calories, which I think I might be able to do today with a better lunch. I did do the elliptical. That's the other thing that really helps my energy level. So I think I'm doing 2 things that really help. Elliptical, 30 minutes of exercise, and it's got to get to a certain level. Walking doesn't do it for me. 30 minutes of walking doesn't really help me that much. But 30 minutes on the elliptical, I seem to hit some kind of cardio threshold where my theory is, again, I'm not a doctor, but my theory is it's increasing my circulation because I can feel the blood circulating through my body better. So that burned off 324 calories. That gets me to a net of 25.99. So how far over was I? So I was over 300 calories. That's, I'm really not unhappy with that. That's progress. And I think I can fix my diet by 300 calories and not be hungry. And then my net carbs, I was 20 over on net carbs. Again, I think I can fix that today. That basically, this Wendy's triple cheeseburger is what kind of, I think, put me over the top. And so I'm going to address that today. And I think I've got a good shot at coming in under my numbers tomorrow. Okay, let's look at measurements. On my weight, I did buy a battery for my scale. I actually forgot, but my wife texted a picture. And then I went to put it in today, and the scale needs 2 batteries. But I put the one in, it did work. It's probably going to run out soon. But good news. Continue. My weight was 268. So, okay. All right. So for the first time, we see a little dip here. So I was 270. Then the next day, 271.9, almost 272. Then the batteries went dead for a few days. And then I came in at 268 this morning. So I feel really good about that. I think that's good progress. And I've got some things I can still do better. So I think, there's a lot of progress to come here. Let's look at my blood sugar. And let's see. Oh, click the plus sign today. All right, so I came in at 131. Even though I'm doing this online, I also do a calendar that hangs in my restroom. That way, whoa, that light is making it hard to see this. But one, I do it because I forget what my weight was a few minutes after I weigh myself. But then I just like that visual reminder and hanging in the restroom. So 131. So I was hoping it might have dropped a little more than that. I think the way I'm eating and where my weight is, it seems to be settling into the low 130s. I'm hoping if I get into consistent keto eating, that'll drop into the 120s. And then I hope that as I lose weight, that number is going to come down to normal. And boy, would I love to get off of my metformin. Okay, that's it for today. I think there's some good progress, and I think I identified some things I can improve on today. And I will see you, tomorrow. Okay, take care of yourself.